Everything around that is now different. And I now have a desire to have this baby. And I'm getting excited. My wife says, baby, and I get excited. And what I've done is I've anchored that into myself, that thought and that feeling. And you know what? We can all do that. We can all do that with our life. We can anchor whatever feeling we want into our life. Now I'll talk about anchoring a bit later, but I'll just give you a brief recap now. Everyone heard of anchoring? Anchoring, we know what an anchor is. Explain for me, Ken, what an anchor is and how it helps a ship.
It's a device that falls from the, it locks the ship in position, usually to the seabed, so it doesn't move around and float away.
Okay.
So it's not unsteady, it's...
Yeah, the winds and the tides don't move it away.
Okay, now the winds and the tides, what could they be compared to? Is it possible they're compared to other people trying to affect our state of mind and emotion? Somebody says something, somebody does something, somebody looks at us a certain way, we get upset, we get hurt, we feel hurt. So other people could be these influences. So what's an anchor do? An anchor keeps us locked in place so that nobody else can tell us, nobody else can shift us into a negative place unless we choose. Unless we choose.
Yeah, we're not swayed. We're not
That's
swayed
right.
that way.
That's taking full power back to yourself. That's pulling the energy into yourself and holding it and saying, no, I'm the controller of my destiny. You can't affect me. You can't affect me. No one else can push your buttons in that situation. You see, the reason why people can push our buttons is that they're more committed to their emotional state than you are to your emotional state. And their emotional state might be blame. Might be, Joe, no good, no good. I'm going to blame you for hurting my child. I bet you had a few of those. No? Wow, it'd be awesome. Even the best childcare workers, I hear that there's always that crazy parent who wants to come in and blame. But anyway, so somebody comes in with upset, somebody comes in with a hurt. And what can happen to our emotions?
They can shift.
Drag us down,
They can shift.
and sometimes we can carry that down feeling for how long? For how long, people?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's at the extreme,
Yeah.
is forever. Forever is at the extreme, but sometimes it might be a day or a week or a few hours, an hour. Like you're with somebody and you're there for an hour, and then you go, oh, I don't really like this. So you get around a positive person or something like that. And so what we're doing in that situation is we're then getting a positive person to then help us. Or sometimes people reach out to a lifeline, bring a friend, get built back up again. You know, because we're reaching outside ourselves for someone to help us emotionally, rather than taking charge of our own emotions. And we can do that this quick. We can take charge of our emotions this fast. And how do we do it? Now, we've already done it a couple of times today. We've got up, we've moved. What happens when you move? I'm going to fitness instructor here. What happens in your brain, the chemicals in your brain that are released when you're doing physical training? The endorphins get released in the brain, okay? Serotonin, is that the other one? Oxytocin, oxytocin. Okay, so those chemicals are released in our brain and they make us feel good, they make us feel euphoric. That's why people get addicted to working out. They love it. It's great because when you move, you create that in yourself. You create those feelings. Now, what is that going to do with this? How does that relate to state?
Positive mental state.
It puts us in a positive state. Exactly. So we can practice getting into a positive state. We can do it through exercise. We can do it in other ways like that, but we've got to move our body. We've got to move our body. If you're walking around, the most of the movement you do is this, not good enough. That's not going to get us into state. So we're going to practice this today. We're going to practice now, we're going to practice in the middle of the day, we're going to practice at the end of the day. Because all of today's training is about retraining, not retraining, but helping us to understand and get and lock in that it's all about state. Because if you're feeling good, if you're feeling excited, you have different thoughts, which will lead to a different destiny. Okay? So that's what it's all about. And it's fun. It's exciting. So anchor. What's an anchor? And how do we do an anchor? Well, after we feel a euphoric state of happiness, joy, whatever we feel, then we can anchor it in, lock it in, using a physical symbol. And so mine for excitement is this. My hold this in. So every day when I was going up the hill and jumping, getting excited, I would lock in, I would create an anchor this way. And now all I have to do is do this. So if I'm at church and there's a particularly boring speaker speaking, everyone else is falling asleep and I want to listen, I can do this. Ooh, suddenly I'm right there. Or when I'm writing my book, I'm actually in the process of writing a book. And when I'm feeling a bit run down or worn out, fire off the anchor. Boom, sit up nice and tall. It gives me another 5 or 10 minutes. Then I start drifting. Boom, do it again. Keep myself going. Okay, particularly long day. So, anchors are very powerful.